Well, the important thing is that we're missing. The thing that we're lacking is we need much more cooperation between Western Europe and Eastern Europe. The resources are not evenly distributed, the opportunities are not evenly distributed, the funding for research is not evenly distributed. Eastern Europe is way behind Western Europe, and it has very important consequences. And that means that the conversations and the discourse and the dialogue between scholars in Western Europe and scholars in Eastern Europe can only take place with a lot of effort and difficulty, and what has to be that there has to be more of a balance, so that the resources are more equal between the rich countries of Western Europe and the poorer countries of Eastern Europe. And it's happening, but it's a very slow process, and it needs to happen more rapidly. And of course, one of the problems is language, that more and more effort has to be made to have a common academic language, so that everybody can converse with each other on an equal basis. And it's difficult to do this. This is a difficult problem, but it's essential that it's a challenge, and it's essential that we deal with this challenge, because Western European scholarship and research is less rich because it cannot appreciate all of the important work being done in Eastern Europe, and at the same time the Eastern European scholars need to have more advantages and resources so that they can come together with their Western European colleagues and counterparts, so that there's simply more conversation and dialogue. It needs to be more, Europe needs to be more unified academically, and these structures are very important, so that more Bulgarians have to apply to the Alexander von Humboldt Stiftung and European Research Council grants, and so that more and more has to be done to have these, to make it a more even field. It's very important.
I think that we have in Europe a lot of religious center for religious studies, but the very important problem that today is to create a link between these different centers. Without this, I think that these centers, they remain something maybe links only to national culture or local culture. We need to find a European and international link to understand better the development of religion and a different church tradition in a more wide dimension, to bring all this in our global culture.
I do expect that Europe remembers what I told before about the importance of religious studies, and so not only doesn't stop funding them, but also promotes them, because we need to rediscover an identity of Europe which cannot be aware of itself without rooting itself in Judaism, in Christianity, even in Islam, as it was developed in many parts of Europe. A Europe which doesn't remember his roots will be a Europe without a future.